I'm Anthony and I'm 17. I really feel that last night in praise and worship, the Lord, well, He said to me last week first that I should share, and then I thought no, so I didn't. And then last night again, and then I came to it, well, if there's something to share, I'll share it. God will give it to me this morning, maybe. Anyway, so He gave me something this morning, and it looks like it's going in with everything else. In Romans 6, it talks straight through. I just want to read a little bit from everywhere. In verse 5 it says, "For if we have been united together in the likeness of His death, certainly we also shall be in the likeness of His resurrection, knowing this, that our old man was crucified with Him, that the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves of sin. For he who has died has been freed from sin. Now if we died with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with Him." And if you read in Deuteronomy, it first says choose life or death, and if you carry on reading, especially in Romans, it speaks about choosing life or death. It also says that the wages of sin is death, and the gift of righteousness is eternal life. And if you go down verse 14, it says, For sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? Certainly not. But this is verse 16 is what I wanted to get to. Do you not know that to whom you present yourselves slaves to obey, you are that one slaves whom you obey, whether of sin leading to death or of obedience leading to righteousness? When I got here, it took me I got here on the 14th of December, and I got saved. I gave my life properly to the Lord on the 25th of July. Okay, and I promise you that when I made that choice, if you read in Proverbs 10 verse 22, it says that the blessings of the Lord makes one rich, and He adds no sorrow with it. And I've seen in my life how many blessings He's poured out over my life, and just with everybody. I speak to the school kids, when I go and speak to the school kids, or they come and speak to me, and sometimes they're not feeling like, oh, whatever the story is, there's one thing that I always say to them, there's a choice you got to make, and the choice you make, you must follow through with, because for each one of us sitting here, if you just only knew how much God's really got for you, you would have given your life to Him long ago. And He's given me already, and He's still got a lot more to give to me, And I know that with everybody sitting here, we as we come in, sometimes we think more of what we used to do and that, And I gave my life to God, and I stopped thinking about those things, and I changed my life. God changed my heart around, which was the main thing, For a long time I was walking around, and I think only in my holidays I found, God taught me that I needed more love for myself. Well, not for myself, sorry, for Him. And I've asked Him, and He's given it to me now, and I'm getting balance in my life and all these things, But one thing I know that is with the school kids that do come to me, and sometimes they say, this, I'm always in trouble, and I'm always in this, and I was also always in trouble, and I gave my life, and God says that if you give your life, or if you walk in the Spirit, you're not under the law anymore. And it's like you'll see it, like as Pastor was saying just now too. In Christ we are new creations. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. And everything becomes new. Everything that we used to be has passed away. And once you've made the choice, if you read in 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 11, it says that you also aspire to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your own hands, as we commanded, and if you do that, you really will start to focus on yourself. You'll become blameless with the people around you, and to mind your own business doesn't mean you mustn't go and help your brother, because a lot of the time, I've been helped by a lot of people here, when I've been feeling down, they've come in and they've helped me really, and I wasn't in the right mind when I got here to make the choice, to choose life, but in John 15 verse 16 it says that I didn't choose Him, He chose me, and one thing I've learned, that if God's got something to do with me, He will get it done, and just another thing, when we give our lives to God, we learn that God is the judge, the true judge, because we know that, He's done nothing wrong, and He can judge us according to the way He stands, And another thing is He knows what's inside of us and what's outside of us, and we're doing this thing To Kill a Mockingbird in English now, and the one Atticus, this guy, tunes his kids all the time that to understand someone, you would have to get in their skin and walk around with them, And it's the same thing. God understands what's going inside our hearts and inside our minds all day, And when we walk around and we judge people next to us or whatever it is, you know. You can't do that, you know, because first of all, it causes strife. It causes all these things that when you walk past someone, they like look down or whatever the story is, you know. God has forgiven me, and He's forgiven a lot of people, you know. And if we look at that, we've become new creations, you know. And one of the things is, in God's eyes, we are perfect already, you know. And if we can only just start looking past the natural, you know, because I mean, like I said about the blessings of the Lord makes one rich. The Lord has really blessed me in a lot of things, you know, especially like with everything that I couldn't do, everything now I can do, you know. And I know that with everything that He's given me today, without Him, I can do nothing, and everything falls away again, you know. And especially like with your families, you know, I through this whole experience with going through drugs and seeing what I did to them and my brother, you know, I learned that I learned the love they've got for me, you know, and I know that even now, you know, that since I've given my life to God, I can be a better son than I ever was, you know, and yeah, time will tell, but I know that God is there, and He is working, you know, and I really believe that people should just make that choice, you know, because if you don't believe it now, you will believe it when you've made the choice, you know. Yeah.
What year did you come here?
14th of December 2001.
Praise the Lord. Let's give them a hand.